This is for Cora Henderson over at Pitt and Frank Attorneys. Cora, Steve writes in, he is worried about his mother, who's in her early 90s. She's forgetting almost everything. She can't remember where her bedroom is in her home. And he's wondering, so what does he do? Does he declare her mentally incompetent? And selfishly, he writes, to protect her from giving the house away and his inheritance. He's saying, what's the litmus test for mentally incompetence, and what should he do? Cora.
Well, hello, Steve. First of all, great genes in the 90s. Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds like she has lived a long life, and hopefully you will as well. So kudos to the good genes there. As for kind of this sensitive topic, I think so many of us have aging loved ones in our life, and we may or may not have reached a point where, we start to scratch our heads going, is this just, brain fog, or, do we have something to worry about here? Is this, the early signs of dementia, or is this going to be just, mere forgetfulness? So there can definitely be some concerns there, and that's why we have trusted professionals. So, you might be kind of putting the cart before the horse to file an immediate action in the court, motioning the court to declare her, insolvent and incompetent, unable to handle her financial affairs, so on and so forth, to make sure that you're protecting the keys to the kingdom. Although that may end up being, a step if you need to be appointed, her guardian or someone else to kind of protect those assets and protect her as well. But before you get to that point, I know you said you kind of, she doesn't know where the bedroom is, which is concerning. But, I think whether it's that or for other listeners involved and they just may not know kind of where our loved one is on that path, there are so many great trusted professionals that are in it for the right reason who can come to the house, sit down at the kitchen table, have a cup of coffee, and talk to your mom, talk to your aging loved one, ask some questions. These are professionals. So it's not like it's, they're going to have them do, some standardized test, or they're going to get clammed up. I mean, this is what they deal with on a daily basis. There's also some wonderful elder law attorneys that have those folks on staff. There are some specialists that handle these transitions, if you will, whenever an aging loved one can no longer live by themselves or support themselves and need to move to an assisted living or full-time care or even memory care. And so I think identifying those professionals and have them do the quote unquote litmus test, if you will, to see where you're at on that spectrum. Is this something where we just need to monitor? Is this something we need to get her in front of additional healthcare professionals, possible medication and or diagnoses? And then ultimately, is it so severe that maybe we've missed the boat or this happened so rapidly, we need to proceed and motion the court and looking about, some sort of, whether it be disability judgment or guardianship order, so that you can help protect and preserve your parent, your mother and her assets. So there's just a multitude of questions, but I think it really comes with first, just knowing that, maybe your gut instincts are the right ones. And so engaging in those professionals not only helps ask the right questions in a comfortable, assuring, confident way with the aging loved one, but then also they're going to have those tools. They're going to be able to tell you, okay, here's the next step. Here's the person that you need to talk to. Is it an elder law attorney so that you can help preserve those assets if they are going to receive state care? Do we need to set up an irrevocable trust? Again, do we need to have a guardianship in place? And an elder law attorney would be a great resource for that.
Cora, so this actually, it's really important because you're taking the guilt trip off of your shoulders and putting it on a
100%.
professional, which is so important because you don't want to think that you're the one who caused this or that. So again, let's just cut down to it. Oh, so you mentioned elder law a number of times. Do we have, and I guess people could contact me and I can put them in contact with you, or is there someone you would recommend over the radio at this point? I don't want to.
Sure, happy to. I mean, there are a multitude of great qualified professionals, but unfortunately, there's a lot of elder fraud, financial exploitation, et cetera.
Right.
And I think that's what Steve's worried about. He's worried about somebody, calling and taking advantage of his mom. So I know that I've taken classes from this individual, and I know she is an outstanding practitioner. I've referred my own family members to her, and that's Misty Clark Van Treese at Kentucky Elder Law. She's one of the owners there. She has a team of attorneys and other professionals like we spoke about, but she's always kind of my go-to resource. There's, like I said, there's some other qualified ones as well. I don't want to leave anyone out, but Misty teaches a lot of the attorneys too, does a lot of CLE classes, both locally and, nationally. And again, I've referred my own family members to her. So she's a fantastic resource. she's actually experienced that firsthand, with her family. And I think that means a lot when you're talking to somebody who's gone through the exact same thing that you're going through.
So I'll tell you what, if any of the elder law folks are listening to us right now, if they want to reach out to me, we'll put you on a list and provide that as a service to anybody who's listening who needs some help.
That'd be awesome. And best of luck, Steve, and hang in there.
If you want to see a rebroadcast of today's show, very simple. You can go to LouisvilleAnswers.com. That's LouisvilleAnswers.com. And it will give you a replay of not only this show, but all of our shows that are out there.